Morning all, and welcome to the Fixed Wing channel. My name's Stuart Lomas. Hope you find you well today. It's Friday morning, so a couple of days since my last one, I thought I'd just post up another little video about something that's I think quite important for people who watch YouTube to understand that there's people out there who talk absolute sense, and there are people out there who talk absolute nonsense. And hopefully when you're watching YouTube videos, you're able to filter out the ones that talk absolute sense. So I guess the way for me to go, to be on a more positive note, is to talk about people who talk about absolute sense most of the time. So if you're looking at watches and you're interested in watches, then I guess the kind of people you're looking at are Andy Hunter, Guido Pelagos, Simon Crane, Matt Stevens, Don, people like that, who will have their own individual styles, talk about things that interest them. I mean, Don's obviously very interested in the engineering kind of side of watches. Andy Hunter, well, we all know Andy and the kind of thing he chats about. Simon obviously is in love with his Bremont and he's looking for a Reverso. Matt, advocate of quartz, nothing wrong with that. I own a few quartz myself. Also a very funny, entertaining, and what seems to be a very nice guy. And of course, as we all know, the illegitimate son of Kevin Spacey, which is quite a claim to fame. So when we're searching around for information, it's important to know where we go. And I feel that all the aforementioned people are a very good source of good, sensible information that we can all glean something from. All those guys are very approachable. I've just exchanged email with Simon about something that I wanted to talk about. And I think it's important where we're concerned, as Joe Public, as it were. Some of us may be well down the line of having a collection. You know, you probably maybe got 3, 5, 7, maybe 10 or more watches in your collection, some of which will be the lower price ranges, the hundreds, such as Steinhardt and things like that. And then others, if you're very fortunate over the years, you've thrown your heart and soul into saving, and you've bought yourself your Rolex or your Omega or your Patek or whatever it is that flick your switch at the time. But for those out there who maybe haven't got a watch yet, or should I possibly say maybe they've got a cheap watch, a real beater, something that you bought off the market or a cheap shop or something like that, and it costs you £5 or $5 or whatever, and it's a quartz thing. And having said that, a $5 quartz watch is going to be far more accurate than any automatic movement. And you're thinking, well, I like how a watch looks and how a watch feels on my wrist, so I want to pull the trigger on something, but where do I go? So the answer is Andy and Guido and Simon and Matt and Don and maybe even Archie, who knows. And you watch their videos and you see that these people are talking from the heart. They know kind of what it's like to yearn after a particular timepiece, or if not a particular timepiece, a particular style of a timepiece, because we're all different. You know, we all have our little foibles. Personally, for me, square watches don't do it at all. And if square watches do it for you, I'm sorry, but for me, I don't see the point. A tank watch, I own one. Only one, and it's a dress watch. Rarely wear it, and I use the excuse of it being a dress watch not to wear it. Some of us, you know, just like a chronometer style where it does nothing more than tell the time. Others would like a GMT function. Others want to go the whole hog and have a full chronometer, which is brilliant. Other people will view chronometers as a chronograph as too busy a face, and that's fine. So watching all the guys that I've mentioned, they will give you an insight of what is out there, what they've got, what they feel about what they've got, whether they've bought something that once they've got it in the hand, thinking, you know, I've worn this for a week and it kind of just doesn't feel right, you know. So they'll do all that for you, so you'll be able to sit back with your cup of coffee and you think, right, this is the kind of information I need, rather than sitting there watching some watch snob harp on lyrically about how wonderful an ETA 7750 is and the benefit of that, or you should go down the road of a tourbillon or whatever. So, you know, Andy and Simon and Matt and so on are the places you should go to get common sense, good information. If you're looking for something which is, you know, going to be the trigger pull on your most expensive watch, then there's many sources out there that you can look at. You even go obviously to the YouTube channels of the manufacturers. I mean, Omega have a very nice channel. Some of their commercials on there are like mini movies. Ulysse Nardin have one. You know, all the major manufacturers, Rolex have one, and they do a lot of their yachting videos on there. Now, that doesn't tell you a lot about the company, apart from they've got more money than sense. But it doesn't tell you anything about the watches. It just tells you what they sponsor. So whether that's informative, I don't really think so. If I want to watch sailing, I'll find it on a sports channel somewhere. But you can look at their ads and you can find out roughly what the watches look like and whether you feel they'll look good on your wrist. As I said, I think in my last video, it's all about you. It's not about anybody else. We're all different. Watches can be very polarizing. You know, people hate the look of the Panerai. Other people love the look of a Panerai. I have a Marina Militaire. It's a different maker than Matt's, but mine's a GMT. It looks exactly like a Panerai. It's got a lovely thick leather tan strap with a lovely big meaty buckle on it. It's 300 meters rated, so on and so forth, and it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. But some people, the crown guard on a Panerai style watch just doesn't do it for them. So always remember, it's about you, it's not about anybody else, and it's about what you feel happy spending. As far as I'm concerned, what you're happy spending is, I'm currently looking at pulling the trigger on something. Now, I'm worried, I'm going down the Omega route, I think. Now, I'm toying with the idea of either a mid-60s Omega Seamaster, not particularly bothered about the dial colour, but I'm swaying towards black, I think, with a nice black leather strap, obviously box and papers and so on and so forth. And here in the UK, probably pick one of those up for a good one, between £400 and £700. Now, also the other side of the same coin, I'm kind of looking at an Omega Seamaster 300 coaxial. Now, we're looking there, pre-owned, anywhere between about £1,000 and £2,500. Obviously, the £1,000 one, you're looking at stuff that potentially has been a little bit knocked about, or certain things don't work, the crown doesn't screw in, and so on and so forth. No papers, no box, dida. So whether I'm going to pull the trigger on one or the other in the relatively short term, I don't know. Obviously, the vintage is more affordable, but also it's a little bit classy. You can wear it as an everyday watch if you so wish, but if you get a gold-plated case, then you've got something that looks absolutely beautiful as a dress watch. So it's a kind of a dual purpose thing. So am I going to go down that route? I'm not too sure. And the reason I'm not going to go not too sure whether I'm going to go down that route is they're so small. Like most guys these days, most of my watches are, I guess, 40 plus mil. A lot of the old stuff from the 60s, of course, as was the style then. If you watch things like Mad Men, 33, 34 mil, maybe including the crown. So it does look very much size-wise like a lady's watch. And I, surprisingly for me actually, I've got quite a large wrist. I'm not a massive guy, but I've got an 8-inch wrist, which was a little bit stunning to find out, because the average seems to be about 7.5. So on an 8-inch wrist, a watch that's 33 mil looks a little bit small, but I don't know what I'm going to do yet. But that's a little insight of where kind of I am to pulling the trigger on something. I'm fairly close. It's going to be probably pre-summertime, I would have thought. I would like if the weather here in Manchester gets any better in summertime. Usually summer in Manchester means the rain is a little bit warmer. I would like to have it on my wrist when I'm wearing short sleeve shirts and so on and so forth, because I think we all like to show off our timepieces whenever and wherever we can. So it's going to be one of those two. Which one? Not sure yet. I will keep you up to date. If you have any suggestions, down below as always. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you've seen. If you've seen any bargains on eBay here in the UK, let me know. It's give you a fair idea of what I'm looking at. The 300 coaxial blue dial. Like the black dial, don't want a black dial. I don't know what it is. To me, the blue bezel, blue dial, wave dial is beautiful. And it's something that feels a little bit like an itch that needs to be scratched. So to kind of sum up, common sense channels, people who will give you information that is non-biased, that is sensible. All of them, apart from Archie possibly, will tell you, don't wreck yourself financially. It isn't sensible. Do what's right for you, buy what's right for you. Don't take advice from anybody else unless it's technical. Don't say you shouldn't wear, don't let anybody say you shouldn't wear this, you shouldn't wear that, it's awful. If it feels right for you, if it looks right for you, then you pull the trigger on it, as long as it's not going to kill you financially and it's not going to get you into trouble with your wife, and that's to be avoided. Anyway, I think that's enough for today. I've got another subject brewing in the back of my head, so I may do 2 videos today. We'll have to wait and see. Nothing over the weekend. I'm off down to see my mum, who lives down in Oxfordshire, so I have a 400-mile plus round trip tomorrow. I hope the weather's not too bad, and I hope she's well. I will give you a bit more insight on her as time goes on. So I hope you enjoyed it today. I hope that it was a little bit of information for you, and I hope that I've backed up other people's channels. So until I speak to you again, thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and down below for any questions or comments. Thanks now. Bye bye.